So, what did I bring with me today? Besides my t-shirt. My Nut and Fancy t-shirt, which will get me through any situation, right? No. Let's start with what's hanging on my belt. What do I have in my belt? I have the K-Bar Heavy Buoy Large survival knife, if you want to call it that. 1085 steel, previously reviewed on the Nut and Fancy project, previously recommended for a great value, and it absolutely is. For $50, for a knife this size that I can use to hack away, this has replaced the machete for me, which is one less piece of gear I have to carry. And straight from the factory, the edge on this thing is nice. It's really impressive. I've lopped through some crap and people around me just can't believe that I'm just hacking away at stuff. It's just one swipe, just flop, and the branch is off the tree. This is a nice piece of gear. I have used it, and I have really come to appreciate what it's capable of doing, what it's doing for me, and what it's helped me eliminate from all of my gear. I really like it. And I bought it with money from my deceased grandparents. It was a surprise Christmas. I was going through old Christmas cards and I found a $50 bill from a couple Christmases before. I have a reputation for doing that with checks, and apparently I do it with cash too. I get stuff for Christmas, squirrel it away, and then forget about it. Not to say I'm unappreciative, I absolutely am not. So this means a little bit more to me than just buying a knife. That $50 was from my grandparents, who are no longer here, so this knife means a lot to me. Next piece of equipment I'm carrying is the Leatherman Surge. Now, I can't say I've really got a lot of hours on it, but I can say that it's nice. It comes with some useful pieces of gear. This weekend I will probably, no doubt, get to use it a lot more. What do I really like about it? I really have an appreciation for the little teeny tiny screwdrivers, because some situations, where are they? I don't even know where they are. Here they are. In some situations, you could be stuck out in the middle of nowhere and need to take apart, nope, that was wrong. See, I'm not even familiar with the whole entire thing yet, but you could be out in the middle of nowhere and have to take apart some teeny tiny little piece of gear, maybe a watch or something on a vehicle, something that means, you know, life and death, or just fixing somebody's glasses. You know, if they can't see, they're useless to you as a pair of people who are out trying to survive somewhere. So having the teeny tiny little screwdriver on there is just absolutely awesome. Tiny little flathead, tiny little Phillips. The needle nose, I don't have to explain what needle nose are good for. There's a million different uses. Just anything minor, from pulling splinters out, pulling ticks off, whatever. I can tell you that the blades right from the factory feel nice and sharp. I haven't had a chance to use the little mini saw yet, or the nice, what is this, maybe a 3-inch blade or so, but it sure is sharp, and if I had to stick something with it, I wouldn't have a problem. And there's that's a fly. Looks like a wasp, but it's actually a fly. It's a mimic fly. I can't figure out exactly what it is, but it looks exactly like a hornet, but it's a fly. So that's my other piece of gear, which I'm excited about being able to use. And then let's see, as we go around the corner, a Glock G19. Another piece of gear reviewed by Nut and Fancy. I have really come to appreciate. I don't have a whole lot of shots off on this either, but I did make some of the recommended modifications that he did. The extended slide release from the, I guess it's one of the 40 caliber models. Safety check, clip's empty, good to go. Standard sights on it, the standard Glock sights. You can see right there, I'm going to put a hole, it's hard to do backwards, put a hole in my shoulder. But anyway, a little bit of lint in the barrel. Is that embarrassing, or does that mean I carry it with me all the time? I think it means I carry it with me all the time. So I'm using the Crossbreed Super Tuck inner waistband concealed carry holster. I freaking love it. It is comfortable as hell. I drove in the car 2.5 hours up to the spot where I am, and I just absolutely love it. You don't even notice that it's there. And then last but not least, whoosh, like I mentioned before, the Gerber Obsidian. It's got the partially serrated tip, which I prefer for cutting rope and things like that. It does have a lock on it, which will lock the blade in place to keep it from collapsing itself. You can see there's a good bit of pocket lint in there. I know Nothing Fancy said that's a good sign that it's definitely an EDC item. There's even a little bit of hair in there. Every day, this knife is on me every single day. I go to work with it. I wake up in the morning, I put my shorts on, and I stick this knife in there. I've used it for countless things. Let's see, take the lock off, and then the release button right here to fold the blade back up. I do have to complain about the deployment. This scalloping right in here is not deep enough. I really have found that for my thumbs, for deployment, it's very fumbly for me. I've been meaning to take a Dremel to that and open that up just a hair and see if that's going to do anything for me. I hope it does, because overall I really like the knife. It's got a good bit of weight to it. I know Nothing would probably complain about the amount of weight that this thing has, but for me, I'm not doing lots of hiking, I'm not looking at distance. For me, this is more about firepower than it is the other quality that I can't remember off the top of my head. But the bottle opener, the flathead screwdriver on it, useful, absolutely, especially the bottle opener for a guy like me. There goes my phone. And then the Phillips head screwdriver, I have used a couple times, and it does work on something even as standard as like a drywall screw. Something with what I guess a number 2 screwdriver would end up using. It's cool. I've used it. And then when the ladies are around and they break a nail or they scrape a nail or tear a nail off, the little nail file thing on here always makes you a superhero in their book, which is a good thing in my book. So blade centering is not too bad. It's damn near spot on. And the blade is good and solid as well. There's absolutely no movement whatsoever, side to side, left to right. This blade locks in good and solid. It's 440 stainless. I've personally had some trouble getting a really nice edge on it, though I don't proclaim to be a really good knife sharpener type of a person, and maybe my stones are just crap. So I do have some difficulty getting a really nice edge on here, and they don't seem to stay on there all that long. So far, I attribute that to my own skill, though, and not the knife's fault. So that's something that I need to work on. But so that just about, that seems to round out my my gear check. I just thought I would do that, well, just cause I can. I'm out here all by my lonesome, and you know, I'm just hanging out with me. Oh, wait! What do we have here? The Phoenix LD20. Wha-bam! With the dildo tip on it. Also previously reviewed by Nothing Fancy. And let me tell you, I bought this purely on his recommendation, just on a serious whim. I didn't do lots and lots of research. I didn't scour the web for hours and hours like a fiend. I really liked the review that he did, and I could definitely see all of the pros about this light, and decided that it was something that I was going to give a shot. So I asked my parents for it for my birthday, and they delivered. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And let me tell you, I love the hell out of this light. I absolutely love it. It is rock solid. I've put it through some paces. It's bright as I'll ever need any light to be. It's small and compact and portable. You know, it's got the little the notching here, so you can set it down and it's not going to roll away. This light is just badass, and I love the hell out of it, and I'm absolutely glad that I have one. It is worth every single penny. There's even some lint on the lens. Now that's not good. So this rounds out my my gear check.